So you want to play demoman, eh? You want to bully those pesky heavies and engineers, huh? Well, fear not. Demoman is the class for you. Choose this class and just watch those heavies and sentries explode into a gory mess of flesh and scraps. Note that I have not played any competitive. This video is based off of my personal experiences with the class in pubs, but I do believe this knowledge applies in competitive as well. Demoman is best at medium range. Up close, you risk self-destructing, while at long range, your projectiles are easy to dodge. Your main goal shouldn't be to get a lot of kills, but to do as much damage as possible. With over 12,000 possible points of damage stored in your weapons, you are a glass cannon. You can dish out massive amounts of damage, but you don't have many tools to protect yourself, forcing you to rely on your team for protection. Sticking close to a good heavy or scout makes it much more difficult for the enemy to kill you. More time alive means more time to put out more damage. As Demoman, stickies are your primary weapon. It's what you should be using most of the time. You use it as your main damage dealer, and for denying areas to the enemy team. The reason for using stickies over pipes is because of higher damage, larger clip size, and reliability. A sticky does a base 120 damage compared to the grenade launcher's 100. The advantage of 4 extra explosives is obvious as well. While you have to hit directs with grenades to reliably do damage, you manually control when to detonate stickies. And don't forget about charging your stickies as well. Holding down left click will charge your sticky. The longer you charge your sticky, the farther and faster it will shoot, allowing you to shoot at enemies outside of your usual range. While stickies are used to deal damage, they have a second use. Area denial is another one of Demoman's jobs. No sane or insane human would willingly walk into an area filled with high amounts of explosives. You just place a single sticky, and a competent enemy will avoid that area, while a fresh install will eat enough damage for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This knowledge is also used in 1v1s as well. Placing one sticky between you and your enemy will keep them at a range more advantageous to yourself. Creating traps is another important aspect of the Stickybomb Launcher. Laying 3 to 4 stickies near a doorway can easily kill most enemies caught off guard, and will slow down enemies that are aware of it. You need to pay attention to your traps, however. Since they don't detonate automatically, you're prone to getting rushed down if you aren't careful. This brings us to spawn camping. While it is looked down upon by some, Demoman is undoubtedly one of the best classes to spawn camp with. After all, trapping the enemy in spawn prevents them from doing the objective. The Sticky Bomb's arm time of 0.7 seconds is his big weakness. If an enemy is up close and personal, there is plenty of time for the enemy to run out of the blast radius. Grenades are the solution to this. Unlike stickies, they explode on contact, making them much more suited to protecting yourself. You should use this when an enemy is too close to use stickies effectively, or if you need to quickly do some damage. One way to use both weapons effectively is to shoot a sticky, switch to and shoot a grenade. The grenade and sticky will detonate at the same time, instantly killing most classes. You shouldn't only use one weapon as Demoman. Switching between weapons depending on the situation is a much more effective way to play. To use both of Demoman's weapons effectively, you need to be able to predict the enemy's movements. Shooting at where they're going to be in the future is essential to using the grenade launcher effectively. This is also needed for the sticky bomb launcher since the arm time doesn't allow for immediate detonation. For example, blocking the enemy's only escape route gives the stickies time to arm instead of the enemy dodging the stickies as you shoot them. This puts the enemy in a lose-lose situation. If they stay and fight, they die. If they run away, they die. As a Demoman, it is important to know your strengths and weaknesses. Heavies and sentries are easy targets since they're slow and immobile. This makes them easy to hit with both grenades and stickies. Utilizing cover and keeping distance is the general strategy when fighting these enemies. Pyros are a challenge to fight against, but using stickies to keep the pyro at non-lethal distances is generally enough to fight against it. Against snipers, charging up stickies is an option to harass them, but it's a good idea not to challenge them at all and just avoiding their sightlines. Since you are such a big threat to the enemy team, you are a big target for spies, so just make sure to turn around often and avoid tunnel vision. This will make you a much more difficult target for spies. Scout is your biggest counter. He's hard to hit with your grenades, and his speed allows him to dodge your stickies. Reducing the areas he can freely move into with your stickies makes it easier to predict his movements. Make sure to reload both weapons before fighting. The first reload takes much longer than the consecutive ones, making reloading between shots cripple your fire rate. The grenade launcher should take reload priority, since you can use it to protect yourself if an enemy interrupts your reload. Sticky jumping isn't used as much as rocket jumping. It's mainly used to roll out, but occasionally it can be used to chase or escape if needed. With only projectile weapons, predicting and manipulating the enemy's movement is a core part of demoman's gameplay. Your job as a damage dealer leaves you extremely vulnerable to others just running into you and shooting you before you can fight back. This knowledge of demoman's strengths and weaknesses is essential to learn how to play demoman.